Do you think the NFL is fair? Do you think the schedule is built to balance the scales? Then sit down, take a deep breath, and pay very close attention to what just leaked out of Vegas. What's up, football fanatics? This is your ultimate NFL channel, and today we need to talk about one of the most savage statistical muggings I have ever seen in my career covering the sport. If you're part of the Rams house, I suggest you grab a tranquilizer. If you bleed green and sing Fly Eagles Fly, you might want to sharpen your claws, because the collision between these powerhouses just got real dramatic. The bombshell that went off behind the scenes this week came straight from the DraftKings Sportsbook projections for the 2026 season. The projected win total for the Los Angeles Rams was locked in at 10.5. Fair enough, right? That's not the problem. The problem is that, according to the odds makers, there are exactly 9 other teams in the entire league with that same elite 10.5 win projection. And guess what? The Los Angeles Rams will have to face 7 of those 9 teams. Yeah, you heard that right. Lars path crosses with the Seattle Seahawks twice, the San Francisco 49ers twice, the Green Bay Packers, the Kansas City Chiefs, the Los Angeles Chargers, the Buffalo Bills, and, of course, the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm not kidding when I say this feels like a leaked locker room secret meant to terrify a fan base. This isn't a regular season schedule. This is a death row gauntlet on the gridiron. Before I break down how Sean McVay is going to try and survive this bloodbath, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below. Could your team survive this run? Hype this video up, because what the NFL scheduling algorithm did to the Rams borders on cruel, and we are diving deep into it right now. To understand the gravity of this schedule, we need to turn back the clock and look at the soul of these franchises. The Los Angeles Rams are no strangers to overcoming adversity. We saw the greatest show on turf with Kurt Warner turning offenses into art, working absolute miracles against brutal defenses. We saw Matthew Stafford step under center and, in his very first year, exorcise the demons to hoist the Lombardi Trophy. But historically, the Rams have always relied on a physical edge in the trenches to bully their way through tough games. For a decade, that edge had a first and last name and caused nightmares for opposing QBs: Aaron Donald. Facing 7 Super Bowl contenders in a single year without the presence of a defensive deity like Prime Donald to wreck the opposing offense on crucial third and shorts completely changes the legacy dynamic. How do you stop San Francisco's rushing machine? How do you contain the sheer chaos of Patrick Mahomes or the sheer physicality of Josh Allen? And that's exactly where the Philadelphia Eagles factor into this brutal slate. When the Rams look across the field and see that Philly green, they aren't just playing a team, they are playing a culture. The Eagles' identity is forged in the cold, in the ruthless aggression of idols like Brian Dawkins, who taught this franchise what it means to leave your soul on the field, and the visceral, unforgettable trench leadership of Jason Kelce. This Rams vs. Eagles clash in 2026 won't just be another notch on a 10.5 win schedule. It's going to be a clash of philosophies, the Hollywood offensive genius of LA against the brute, tactical, and relentless trench warfare of the NFC. Legacy shows no mercy to those who run from these battles. Let's take the emotion out of the play and look at Sean McVay's whiteboard. How, tactically, does a head coach survive a meat grinder where the median win total of his opponents is 10.5? The impact on the playbook is immediate. McVay cannot afford the luxury of slow starts. The Los Angeles offensive scheme will need to abuse pre-snap motions even more heavily to decode these formidable defensive shells. Against Steve Spagnuolo's Chiefs, for instance, blitz pickup and recognition will have to be flawless. And when we look at the matchup against Nick Sirianni's scheme in Philly, the war will be won in the red zone. The Eagles are masters at dictating the tempo with heavy RPO options and clock control. If the Rams' defense can't force 3 and outs, Lars' offense is going to get cold sitting on the bench. McVay will have to use his play-action brilliance to stretch the field vertically, punishing the safeties who bite on the short routes. But the danger doesn't just live with the Giants. The report points out that even the easy games are tactical traps. The Arizona Cardinals, projected for 4.5 wins, now have Mike LaFleur as head coach. The guy knows the guts of the Rams system. He knows the audibles, the tendencies, and the weaknesses. Playing him twice is a strategic nightmare. The Las Vegas Raiders at 6.5 wins roll in under Clint Kubiak with the energy of young QB Fernando Mendoza, while the Giants and Commanders, both at 7.5, bring the hidden danger of a fully healthy Jackson Dart and Jaden Daniels. There is no bye week on the field. There is no opponent you can beat just by playing prevent coverage and running the ball up the gut to chew clock. Every single tactical call from McVay and his staff will need to be surgical. The American media is already calling this schedule the gauntlet of the century. The analysts out in Vegas are scratching their heads, because putting the Rams line at 10.5 wins with these opponents means they genuinely believe LA has the roster to go toe-to-toe with the league's royalty. The sports media thermometer is boiling, projecting that if the Los Angeles Rams survive this carnage and punch their ticket to the playoffs, they will enter as the most battle-tested team in the entire NFL. They would be the undisputed co-favorites for the Super Bowl. However, the flip side of that coin is brutal. Any string of injuries can turn this season into a domino effect disaster, unexpectedly shoving the franchise toward the top of the next draft. It's one thing to drop a game to a rebuilding team. It's another to get beaten down by the 49ers, Bills, Chiefs, and Eagles in a row. That locker room needs to be bulletproof. For the Rams house, the message is clear: buckle up. For the Philly faithful and the other powerhouses, hunting season is open. The 2026 season is going to separate the boys from the men, the prospects from the legends. The road to football immortality has never been steeper. So, which side of history will you be on? Drop a comment, share this with that friend who thinks their team has it rough, and I'll see you next time, because the sport never stops, and neither do we.